Sort of what I think of myself is just a storyteller who sort of extends or tells a story, my own story, even though I've picked things up from the past. And that's what a storyteller does. He passes on information, or passes on stories to other people. I did my master's work at University of New Mexico.
Okay. And out of that came this specific piece of Rites of Passage, is that correct?
Right. While I was in New Mexico, the Amarillo Arts Center asked me to do a piece for a special exhibition they were doing, or series of exhibitions that they were doing. And so like this piece sort of developed. I sort of had a year to work with, and this is sort of what came to be.
How long? Basically, it took you a year? Is that what you're saying?
It took about a year. You know, that includes the first sort of just drawing in the sketchbook, and I sort of count all that stuff, you know.
It's, in other words, it's a number of individual pieces that came together into an overall piece. It developed into one
right,
piece
it sort of developed into this sort of massive piece.
Yeah. And you say the basis for it is archetypal images and...
Well, a great deal. It's a myth. It's an allegory of sort of life.
Okay.
And I've sort of set up in this narrative text 3 sort of different series of aspects. Within that series of aspects, I've used certain images that are archetypal. An old man associated with birth, the man riding in the cart being like with life. Then at the end, sort of a death symbol or a symbol that goes toward afterlife. The Ascension House. The deer dancer figure, it fell on its face a couple times, and which was really great. And I'd been working on it for like 8 straight hours, and I was just exhausted. And I went in the kitchen to fix a cup of coffee, and I came back. I was in there, and I heard this thump. And it was just like 200 pounds of wet clay, and the face was sort of moved to one side, sort of smashed up, and the arms were sort of. And then I sort of set it back up, and I realized that after all those 8 hours, I just pushed it so far that it was just stiff. And all of a sudden it fell, and it moved everything, and it became more like it was moving or dancing.
Young synchronicity again.
So I just sort of fixed it like it was. And things like that happen sometimes, you know, accidents that really play a nice part.
One of the ways you generate ideas is something that you refer to as psychic space. Psychic space, say that again.
Psychic space.
And could you go into that a little bit, define that a little bit more?
Well, it sort of has to do with sort of daydreams. I sort of daydream very vividly, and I don't necessarily have, these aren't nightmares or anything like that. They're just like daydreams, and one of the images within the piece happened while I happened to be walking to school, and it was during that time I would sort of prepare myself because I was teaching a class, so I tried to get quiet as I was walking, and I was sort of just let my mind go and was daydreaming, and the image came to me, and it's sort of visionary in a sense, in that it's very sort of complete, and it's almost like a space in itself that you're actually sort of there, and
you see the image.
Right, you see the image. It's like just being there, in a sense. And you know, that happens just within a period of seconds, and then it's gone.
You also have a number of pieces that are going to be shown at DW Gallery, running concurrently with this installation here. Those pieces basically have been done or finished since Rites of Passage. They've come after that, is that correct?
Right. My remaining amount of time I spent in New Mexico, I finished a number of pieces that will be in the show. And then my new work, since I've been back to Texas, will be in that show also. A lot of people sort of don't allow themselves to daydream, or if they find themselves doing it, they make themselves stop, or, you know, I was just sort of, in a way, sort of cultivated it, where I can even sort of start doing it. You know, I won't do it for you here, but you know, it's just really sort of getting quiet with yourself and trying to tune other things out.